Coming up on Torrance Today, doctors from Providence Little Company of Mary demonstrate the latest in robot-assisted surgery. The Torrance Art Museum has a couple of interactive events coming up featuring their newest exhibit, and a little girl says thank you to the Torrance firefighters who helped save her life. All this and more coming up right now on Torrance Today. Welcome to Torrance Today. I'm Kirk Lyons. It's 4 p.m. on Tuesday, October 25th. I hope your week is running smoothly. Thank you so much for joining us. Here is our first story. The Torrance Fire Department is warning residents who own electric vehicles, such as bikes and scooters, to be careful. The department says these items that depend on rechargeable lithium-ion batteries are being used more and more and are also leading to a spike in fires and other hazardous issues. Just last week, Torrance firefighters responded to a call involving a carbon monoxide leak from a garage, which they believe started from a charging golf cart. They say here are a few tips to remember. Install smoke and carbon monoxide detectors in the area where you plan on storing your vehicle. Carbon monoxide is colorless and odorless, making it impossible to detect without a device. If possible, charge vehicles outside and get regular inspections of the vehicle to make sure the battery is intact and working properly. Firefighters say headaches are an early sign of carbon monoxide poisoning. If you suspect that's what's happening in your home, they recommend opening all doors and windows, getting out of there, and calling 911. And surgeons from a local hospital gave a hands-on demonstration of robotic equipment they use during surgery. Providence Little Company of Mary held the free educational event at the Del Amo Fashion Center, where shoppers had the chance to get behind the controls of high-tech devices and see firsthand how they work. 5 surgeons from different fields led the 2.5-hour demonstration and say the future is here. Robotics allow them to have a clearer view of the bodies they're working on, helping them to improve both the decisions they make and the outcomes. Robotics is used in a variety of fields, including gynecologic and urologic procedures, weight loss surgery, and orthopedics. The surgeons also say using these devices allow them to limit blood loss, create smaller incisions with less scarring, which leads to shorter hospital stays, and a quicker return to normal activities. And as the midterm election approaches, the Torrance Art Museum is hosting a couple of events in support of its timely exhibit, Uncivil War, an Election Special. The exhibit opened during the beginning of this month and runs through December 10th. Museum officials say it examines artwork as our activism in an increasingly divided socio-political system. They have 2 events taking place this Saturday. Both are open to the public. The first is called We Are All Americans, and it's an oral history and recording workshop facilitated by artist and educator Michelle Jacqui. Workshop participants will be paired up to record their conversations about what it means to be an American. Each participant will then have a chance to share excerpts of their conversations with the group. The workshop will be followed by a panel discussion featuring several artists whose works are displayed in the exhibit. The event begins at 1 p.m. For more information, visit torranceartmuseum.com. Torrance City Council leaders meet tonight to conduct city business. Congresswoman Maxine Waters will present 94-year-old Torrance resident Frank Scarfo with an appreciation plaque in honor of Veterans Day. Resolutions will be read honoring a couple of general service workers who are retiring after decades of service, and the finance director will recommend that City Council adopt an ordinance amending the Torrance Municipal Code, creating a process for collecting late water usage fees. The public is invited to the council chambers tonight at 6:30 p.m. at 3031 Torrance Boulevard. Virtual participation continues to be an option. You can send an email before the meeting to council meeting public comment at torranceca.gov. You can watch the meeting live on our website, YouTube, and of course right here on Torrance City Cable. Also during tonight's City Council meeting, a virtual ribbon cutting ceremony will take place, celebrating the city's new mobile app. It is called My Torrance CA and is a one-stop shop for residents to request services, find information, and view citywide events. Users can report coyote sightings, streetlight outages, and even request homeless outreach. The app also features a calendar of events, transit schedules, and a payment portal. It's the latest effort of the city to keep businesses, residents, and visitors connected while in Torrance 24 hours, 7 days a week. The best part is it's free. Simply download from the App Store on either your iPhone or Android device. A Torrance mom is so thankful to our firefighters for saving her daughter's life. Alexis Lopez has to closely monitor her 4-year-old daughter Emma's health, especially when she gets sick, because she has a compromised immune system. Last Wednesday, Emma's cough got so bad that she stopped breathing. Her mom rushed her to the hospital and stopped when she saw Fire Station 3. The firefighters inside immediately came to the rescue, administering albuterol and hooked Emma up to an oxygen mask. Within a few minutes, her oxygen levels returned to normal, and now we are told that she is doing great. She even returned to preschool yesterday and stopped by Station 3 with lunch for their local heroes. Emma also offered her own words of gratitude to the firefighters.
Thank you, firefighter, telling me I love you.
We're glad you're feeling better, Emma. Thank you so much for sharing your story. And if you use dry shampoo, there's a big recall taking place right now due to the potential presence of benzene, a chemical known to cause cancer. The consumer products company Unilever issued the voluntary recall for certain products from Dove, Nexus, Suave, TG, and Tresemme. The affected shampoos were produced before October 2021 and sent to various retailers nationwide. Benzene exposure can take place orally, through inhalation, or through the skin, causing blood cancer and leukemia. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration advises consumers to stop using the affected aerosol dry shampoo products and visit unileverrecall.com for instructions on receiving refunds for eligible products. Construction is underway on a 10,000-mile broadband network designed to bring high-speed internet to every Californian. Governor Gavin Newsom and members of his administration sent 500 feet of fiber optic cable through an underground conduit to mark the beginning of the construction on the state's middle mile network. Building of the full network will be the nation's largest and cost $3.8 billion. The project is expected to get completed by 2026. Governor Newsom says this effort will help connect the roughly 1 in 5 Californians who don't have access to reliable and affordable high-speed internet. Once the network is built, the state will fund connections to homes and businesses. Local providers will be able to offer reduced cost or free service for eligible residents. Meanwhile, the South Bay is already ahead of the game when it comes to building a fiber optic network. The South Bay City's Council of Governments recently completed the first phase of a middle-mile public and private fiber optic network called the South Bay Fiber Network. It already connects more than 40 sites in the South Bay, including municipal buildings and public agency sites. It also lays the groundwork to eventually extend a low-cost, comprehensive network to residents and businesses throughout the Southwest Los Angeles region. There's more good news for Southern Californians. The unemployment rate fell to 4% at the end of last month, the lowest rate in nearly 3 years. Joblessness in SoCal declined from 4.4% in August and 6.9% a year earlier. The rate was at 4.4% in February of 2020, a month before the pandemic upended the economy. The last time the rate was lower was in December of 2019, when it fell to 3.9%. Here in Torrance, the unemployment rate stands at 3.5%, a half of a percentage point below Southern California and slightly better than the national rate of 3.6%. Much of our city's success in rebounding since the height of the pandemic has to do with the job industries that are here. Healthcare, hospitality, retail, and transportation are just a few examples of sectors that have rebounded the best. And still ahead, it's Take Care Tuesday. We'll tell you about an off-duty Torrance Police SWAT sergeant who bravely stepped up when he spotted someone suffering from a heart attack. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Get it. Get it. get it.
Get it. Get it.
Get it.
Is she gonna get it, Daddy?
She'll get it. Get it. Get it.
When you bring home a Goodwill find, you give your whole town a reason to celebrate because you're also funding local job training and placement programs in tech, healthcare, and more. Goodwill. Bring good home.
At the end of every episode of Torrance Today, we want to share a positive story that fits the theme for the day. On this Take Care Tuesday, we'd like to tell you about Torrance Police SWAT Sergeant Ryan Peterson. Sergeant Peterson was off duty attending his son's high school football game in Orange County last Friday night. He was watching the team's practice before the game began and noticed a fellow parent in the stands having a heart attack. Peterson began performing CPR while asking for help, calling 911, and bringing over the team's athletic trainers to see if either had an AED, or automated external defibrillator. As it turns out, one of them did. And when the device informed Sergeant Peterson the man needed to be shocked with it, he did just that. Paramedics eventually made it onto the field and took the man to the hospital where he was stabilized. Doctors say that if not for Sergeant Peterson's actions, the man would most likely not have survived. I spoke with Peterson today, and he wants no acclaim for this life-saving act. Instead, he took the opportunity to talk about the importance of CPR, as well as understanding your location, something that can't always be traced when calling 911 from a cell phone. Well, that's our show for today. Let us know if you have a positive story to tell by emailing us at torrancetoday@torranceca.gov. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you back here tomorrow with more news from and for our Torrance community. Have a great day.